Jumbo, ni hao ma. Come allez-vous? Guten Morgen. Ohio. Morning, currency traders. Let's trade some gold. Let's trade some oil. Let's trade some Forex pairs, like dollar pairs, yen pairs. Maybe look at euro, look at pound. Go through the calendar for the week, looking for risk events for the foreign exchange market. And answer any questions that you may have. So without further ado, let's go. So anyways, good morning. I guess I have to put this, huh? Whoa. You're like, that's an illusion, right? What? Anyways, wait till this kicks in. That's so mediocre. Woo. So hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a wonderful non-farm payrolls. I did month 161 on Friday. That was something, huh? Great swing lesson last week. Watch it for the third time. Really, Jim? It's crazy awesome, man. It's crazy. Did you watch it backwards? All right. Jason. Kill. That's cool, Jim. You know, it'd be cool is to get like people's notes together and combine them into like one big document. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, right on, guys. That's cool. I mean, that's good karma to hear that. So thank you very much. So right on, man. So anyways, hey, gold and oil, all that kind of stuff sounds good. Huh? Is that all right for an agenda? Will anyone confirm the agenda? Who will second it? So without further ado, let's get on with it, huh? Let's just zip over. I should introduce myself. My name is Wayne McDonald. Nice to meet you. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you for being here. Please visit TradersWay, open an account. When you're in your back office, download MT4. And then in the video description below, you can download my chart templates for free. There you go. Since you're here, and if you're enjoying these webinars, if they're helpful, I would highly recommend subscribing to the Forex.Today YouTube channel, because when I hit stream, you're notified. If you tried that and YouTube is lackluster about the whole sending you a notification thing, then you could also visit twitter.com/FXBootcamp, and that sends out a tweet. So if you tweet, you can be notified that way. So anyways, there's more than one way to get help, and I try to make them available to you. Anything else? Like, subscribe, comment. I thank you for those testimonials that you guys sent me probably a week ago now about the chart templates. Thank you. And let's go. All right, cool. So you should be able to see charts. This is non-farm payrolls on the 5-minute version. It's kind of cool, right? 618 Fibonacci retracement, and it looks like it's even gone so a 618 predicts a 1382 on it right there on a typical scalp, but of course this new scalp went beyond 2618. It looks like it went 300%. So you take this move, the distance from here to here, multiply it by 3, and you get that. Anyways, cool. Not really a Fibonacci number, but I don't believe in Fibonacci numbers. But anyways. You know, Ed, when I send it 1080p, it causes all kinds of problems. So maybe I'll hire a consultant to come through and check it all, find out why I won't broadcast. And I mean, I'm not even broadcasting 4K. I can only do 1080p. But yeah, for some reason it causes problems. But maybe you can see it better. I mean, everything should be bigger. But here's my current setup. It's pretty funny. That's weird. So here's a 1080p, and here's a 1080p, but look at the resolution on this monitor number 2. It's really strange. It's like 4,000 by 1,000. Amazing, huh? 3840 by 1080. You're like 3840. The weirdest aspect ratio, I think, ever. Isn't that funny? Oh, move it more left. You're not seeing the numbers or something? See? Is that better? Cool. So anyways, pretty nice. Yeah. No, I mean the count. Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's just because that's NFP. So there we are. And really, ultimately, after the volatility went away, nothing has actually happened. Yeah. Cool. Nothing happened. Good. Nice. Great. Fine. Okay. All right. So what's the plan with euro dollar? Well, nothing. There's nothing here I could tell you, except if you were a bear, you already had your short, and if you were a bull, you had a short. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't I mean, if you're a bull, you already had a buy, and if you're a bear, you already had a sell. Nothing perfect, of course. On the bullish side, the bearish side was pretty obvious. If I zoom in, let's get off the 4-hour, do a 1 hour. Okay, front runners knew the price. And so was it Thursday, guys, that we had this M3 central pivot down on the swing trading group? And then, of course, the second plan. So I think this is what we did in the swing trading group on this pair, is if you were a bear, this was an obvious monthly, this was an obvious weekly. And then the front run, the Friday front run, which you would not do on Thursday, but you, let me kill that. You don't do Friday front runs on Thursday, you do Friday front runs on Friday. And that would have been here as a follow-up to this other one, which is the same trade plan, it's just different timing, right? Now the bullish side is a lot less exciting, and we didn't actually get a perfect entry. That would have been an okay entry. This is actually the better entry for bulls, and that's the other thing that newer traders have a hard time grasping. Farther down is better if you want it to go up. Hey Jim, so you got 443s like the one behind me? And you used to have you had 449s or 149? But the interesting thing is, so the one I'm using now, the one that you see, it's 49 this way, but only, so it's like having, so this one monitor I've added, it's like having 3 22s, basically. But interesting that you had trouble with 49. It's amazing, like even a 49 is interesting because they make 50s, so it's kind of a weird thing to have. Yeah. You had 643s? Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I might add one more behind me, but the reason for it is there's a lot of like the software on a PC is just designed to be horizontal. So they look at these portrait monitors, they're like, what? Microsoft can't figure that out. So I'm thinking of getting one more 43 but the problem is they're 4K, so you have to have the ability to run 6 4Ks. Now this can do 6, but it can't do 7. So anyway, so it'd be 3 by 2, right? And but then I have to move them all this way, and it gets wider, and then I gotta reinstall differently, so I have to take these down and lower them, because now you go this way, and they'd be too high because they're set to be vertical. So then you put them horizontal, and you got to drop those 1 2 3 low, and then I'll need another strip of them above. Now, luckily, I have the capability of plugging 24 things in the back. That wall has it's the most amazing back, because that whole wall was built to power screens. Pretty cool. My 49 by whatever, this weird, awesome curved monitor is a Samsung, and the which matches the ones behind me. They're Samsung, so I had to get this one. I couldn't get an LG here and have a Samsung there. I mean, what horrible person would do that? So anyways, that's what's going on. Cool. So anyways, no real decent trade there at the moment. Let's go to the standard trade setup. Thank you, Craig. I did have a great weekend, in fact. I had a fantastic weekend. Yeah, Bill, so like in the swing trading group, we went over all that in like crazy detail. But yeah, going back to this, if you look at that should be pretty obvious if you're a bear. Okay. If you're a bear, you're planning on this going down a lot. If you're a bull, you're not getting perfect entries, and you're buying at really challenging zones, and you're still counter trend. So, you just have to pick your battles, man. So if you're a bear, it's pretty easy. Ed says, have you ever tried projectors? Well, it wouldn't work in this scenario. Okay. So in my old movie theater, in my other house, I had a 1080p projector, with a light bulb, and it throws light. And, well, that's all the technology was. But that movie theater was really interesting because you'd watch movies, and first of all, you had a fan above your head making a fan noise all the time. And you'd make the room pitch black, except it throws a light bulb, so the light bulb, the projector is lighting up the whole room, which is weird because you want it to be dark. And then it would heat up, and all that, when you have 8 people in a room watching a movie, you start to sweat. So when I built this movie theater in this house, I'm like, I'm going to have hardcore air conditioning. We're not going to get hot, right? But this, I brought in a laser projector for this one, a 4K laser projector, and it doesn't sit behind you, it sits in front of you. In fact, it only sits about, I think it's 18 to 20 inches from the wall, and it sits down on the floor. You can barely see it. People come in, they're like, what's going on? What is this all about? Looks like a movie theater, but there's no screen, there's no projector. Like, what is this all about? And then you hit a button, turn it on, it goes 150 inch 4K, and it's all lasers, and it's fantastic. Now, that still wouldn't work in an office environment. So projectors, it just wouldn't work. But if you were going to try it, I'd use laser instead of light. Okay, and the laser is just, everyone just, jaws just dropped. They're like, holy crap. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. They're like, oh my God. Oh my God. So it's amazing. It sits, imagine this, it sits 18 inches from the wall and 150 inches. Really amazing, but the only way to do it is with lasers. If you did it like with a flashlight, the screen would be tiny, right? That's why they put light bulb projectors way behind you, because the light has to expand, but then it's not as bright, and it kind of gets blurry on the side sometimes. So the laser is just sick. And the blacks are black, and the reds and the whites are brilliant, because it's all on laser. So if you were going to do it, Ed, you'd have to try the laser, but even then it wouldn't work. It just, you could probably do 3, but then, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't put 3 together. I mean, well, I guess you could, but then they'd be so close to the wall. And, they're $2,000 each or something. So, you just buy one of these. So these are 43-inch Samsung 4Ks. Dude, what are they, $250 each? You know what I mean? Like, for less than $1,000, you can get 3 of these. For $6,000, you can get projectors and have no real benefit, So, yeah, you just wouldn't do it, Ed. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, you gotta go check out laser projectors. And I bought mine a year and a half ago. So it was super leading technology. Really cool stuff. If you're into that kind of stuff, guys, it's awesome. If not, let's just move on. Is that right, Ed? Huh. Very interesting. It's like crazy. It's kind of cool. All right. So anyways, euro dollar, not that interesting. It was sort of maybe in play last week, but right now, I'm sure you have better things going on than that. Carlos says if U.S. Fed cuts rates till pop, till pop, if not, expect a revisit of 2017. Wait, you're just making a random predicted? All right. Go ahead and predict. The way I look at things, guys, is it doesn't matter. I don't have any predictions. Okay. I have no predictions. I do have fundamental analysis and bias, and I do understand seasonality, so that helps in planning, but I'm not predicting anything. Okay? And then as we go into new days, new weeks, and new months, I have technical analysis to confirm or deny my bias and my timing of my trades, but there's no prediction. So like, oh, if U.S. Fed cuts rates, then this is going to happen. And dude, I don't even think that way. Okay, so I'm not picking on Carlitos here. I'm just like, Carlos, I'm not even sure why you would even say it. Like, are people going to take their retirement accounts because you pop that up into a chat and say, well, Carlos said this, so I should probably, and it's just, you don't even really say it, Carlos, is all I'm kind of getting at. Like, why don't you tell me your bias on certain things? So you say, okay, if you expect lows, and so that tells me something. I don't know what you meant by lows. Is it interest rate lows? Is it bond price lows? Is it stock price lows? Are you talking euro dollar lows? But whatever. Let's talk about that more, like, instead of prediction, which is actually kind of worthless. Let's put that into a bias, and then from biases we can stack trade plans. Okay, and that's valuable, right? Because we could say, well, my plan for this month, or my bias for like euro yen, for example, might be up. Okay, cool. And then based on that, what does this look like this week? What does this look like this month? And if you're a bear, we had a counter trend trade last week. It's still set up this week, and it may then come together over the next few days to confirm or deny a downward move as a bear, right? You say to me, like, there's no prediction. It's like you say, I have looked at macroeconomics. I believe it's risk off. Therefore, I believe yen will get strong. And plus, with the stuff going on at the ECB, euro's probably going to lose any value that it could possibly gain. So from here on in, I'm selling at resistance, and I'm looking for higher highs and higher lows. And right now we have, and I would say here, this was a place for these short-term bulls to take profit, which would then set up a swing for this week. And so this week's swing is here off of this rejection, which is a heck of a trade, by the way. It's an awesome, hardcore trade if you're a bear. Fantastic, love it all day, has amazing value. But like, if the Fed cuts this, then that's going to have that's too much of a prediction, and don't even say it, right? Don't even say it. State your bias, and then from that, I can understand your trade plans. That's where we need to be, right? Okay. Otherwise, it just becomes like clickbait. Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 billion. The US dollar's worthless, right? Like, dude, go away, right? So I'm not saying that's you. I guess I took it too far. I'm sorry. It's not you, but it's just like, I'm trying to train everybody. Don't throw out predictions. I don't care what they are. They're worthless. They're clickbait or something. Or I don't know. They just have no value. They're empty, right? All of that is, it's not even a plan, right? So, okay. Com says, today my book arrived. Cool, man. Where in the world did it go? Hey, Chuck Duck, right? It's $1 billion. No, but it's funny. There's so much of that. And YouTube's getting dangerous that way, right? So now you see kids eating what do they call them? Tide Pods. Now another kid's like, well, he ate Tide Pods and got 3 million views. So now I'm going to eat 20 Tide Pods all at once and see if I can get more views. And then another kid's like, well, I can set my hair on fire. How many views will I get? It gets dangerous, so that all of a sudden the world becomes very clickbaity, right? So we got to whoa, we're professional traders basing decisions on analysis of both technicals and fundamentals, and then we time our plans around this, using charts and stuff. Like, we just can't be clickbaity, okay? So just, hey, for everyone to think that way. You'll scare off big game, right? All right, cool. So anyways, do you see what I say? Or do you see what I say? Do you hear what I say? If you are a bear, and all you have to do is give me 3 or 4 reasons why you'd be bear on global macroeconomics, and all of them are likely to be correct, and then you say, because of that, I'm looking to buy yen, and in particular sell maybe the weak European currencies that have been weak for months, then this is definitely a place where bulls get out, and this is definitely a place where bears get in. And as you already likely know, that whole area, we already knew 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago that that's a sell zone. It's super straightforward. So if you're a bear, this is hardcore. Now, if you're a bear, are you going to make money? Well, I really don't know. That's irrelevant. If you're a bear, that's where you start trading. If you don't start trading, the market doesn't become bearish, because the bears don't have the guts to do what they're supposed to do. Or they don't have the brain. If you don't have the brains or the brawn, dude, you're not going to last, right? So that is where bears will sell. And if they don't sell, then there are no bears. There's just traders that are neutral. They might have used to be a bear, but now they're neutral. And what does that happen? What happens in that case? Well, then we do this. Okay. Now, on the bullish side, bulls don't actually like this. It's not actually a good price. That's what I was humming and hawing about, because the trade plan last week, okay, was this, okay? And we didn't quite, it's not perfect. It's a bit out of position. So I think a bull, right? And again, this is where amateurs kind of get lost here. I think a bull would rather have it come down today and maybe buy it tomorrow. Or it comes down, let's do it a different way. Come on, Bubba. Or it comes down all week. Bulls are okay with that. It's less desirable, but it wouldn't be a reason for a bull to stop being a bull. Okay? And you're like, well, then bears actually would make money this week, and then if it does bounce, bulls would make money. And I'm like, yeah, here's the thing. There are lots of reasons why you could be a bull on this pair. There are lots of reasons why you could be a bear. And if you trade properly, okay, if you trade like a professional, you're ready, willing, and able to buy and sell it where you're supposed to based on the hardcore analysis you did last week, the week before that. Like, you know what you're doing. I guess that's the definition of a professional, right? They know what they're doing today. Why? They did the work. They made a decision. They're ready. An amateur shows up like, hey boys, what's going on? What are you doing today? Hey, I'm going to do a London breakout. Whatever the London boys do, I will try to do what they did an hour and a half after they did it. I mean, it's just it's so frightening that people buy into that nonsense, right? So a professional shows up, they're like, I know what I'm going to do today. Okay? Like any professional, a professional athlete, for example, has a game plan. What's your game plan, right? So anyways, if you have a hardcore game plan, here's the awesome thing about trading. It doesn't matter if you're a bull or a bear. If you're a bull and I'm a bear, we're likely over the course of this week to make money, both of us. Now, one of us will make more money than the other, but that doesn't matter, because on average, on other weeks, you'll make more money than me, and then on a different week, I'll make more money than you. But at the end of the year, you have a yellow Lamborghini and I have a pink Lamborghini, and we're like, wow, we bought the lamest colored Lamborghinis ever, right? But whatever, right? I guess I'll give my pink Lamborghini to my wife on when is it, when they do for breast cancer awareness or whatever, when everyone wears pink, I'll give her my pink Lamborghini. Anyways, that's it. If you know what you're doing, we'll probably both make money, even if we completely 100% disagree with each other. Oh, not the boot camp page, the swing page, Lim, right? So you paid one-time fee, but you paid them. What? Yeah. Why would your monthly not go through? That's it. So I don't know, Lim. Lim, send me an email, wayne@fxbootcamp.com. I have about 15 emails I need to get back to people about, so I'll put you on the list and try to crank through. But I don't know why your credit card would work on one payment but not the other, so don't really know. But we'll try to figure it out. Okay. Cool. So anyways, let's get out of here. Hey-ya. Cool. Let's take a look at this old trade plan. Remember, it took us 3 weeks to get this trade to set up for us. And now she's been a giver. She's a lover. Okay? Now, one of the questions I actually got in the swing trading group as I was setting these up, so one person said, well, how do I trade an out of position trade? Okay, and typically I don't train during the swing trading group, but because that's in the course. But I'm like, hey, well, you got two options here. And one of the options, of course, was trade off of the 21 EMA. And look at that. That's an OOP, right? OOP out of position. And we talked about on Thursday, which means all of this is Friday, then came down on Monday, hit the 21, chow, off she goes. Worked beautifully. Isn't that cool? Chuck Duck says, Wayne, your position previously was a significant pullback in the yen pairs after the initial move up. That is a big depend. So that depends. I don't think of a pullback. Okay, Chuck. I think of it as a one-way street, a bias. Okay, so when we gather the third week of August, like we did, okay, higher Wally, we buying or selling this fruit? Dude, look at the trade plan. I even have it drawn. You should look at that and say, oh, he's drawn it up. I actually drew these, guys. This isn't an indicator. I drew these before it happened. Okay. Okay, remember this came down. We knew in August it would stabilize, so then I drew a channel. But then I said, this is not going to go up because it's not going to go up until the third week of August, so we have to have a channel to plan the break. And then likely it's going to kick off the pivots, play a double bottom, and work its way up. So this is all like a month in advance. Wayne at fxbootcamp.com. Lim. WAYNE. Okay. So Justin's up more than 400 pips on this. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, you should be, right? So what was I saying now? You guys got me thrown off. Oh, out of position. Yeah, out of position. So the way to trade an out of position is kick it off the 4-hour 21. And that is in the training course. And it did work. Cool. Cool. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now, I don't even really want to own the pound. And I think there's a lot of reason for this to come screaming down. But that's why they invented stop losses, right? Benjamin says, I'm trading gold on the 5-minute. Your technique is insane, Wayne. Yeah, I know. Between 7 and 9. Yeah, I know, Benji. Huh? You going to send me a tip? My wine cellar could use some more Dom Perignon. So anyways, there's nothing to add here, really. It's just carrying out the monthly trade plan. This was a very, very tough trade on a weekly basis. I have no idea what's going to happen on this. But we can do things like analyze danger zones, right? So this tells me maybe this can go up to the weekly target, maybe hit it early, hit like 75.50 and come down, or 74.50, or hit 74 and die out early. Okay, either way, I can't really buy this anymore and I can't really sell it anymore. So there's some resistance, and then this is maybe a buyback zone. So this may be next week or late this week. I mean, I don't know. I can't really, there's no entry. Okay. Well, right on, guys. No, thank you. Well, the best way to do it is like stay involved, like join FX Bootcamp. Just take the courses. I'm going to make some tweaks and stuff. There's some really interesting things coming up in the near future. Cool, but be involved is the best way. Get part of the team. No, Benjamin, I was born in Toronto and grew up in Saskatchewan. Yeah, well, yeah, as Joe says, it's going up too hot, too fast. But some of you guys are really crushing it on like these yen pairs I set you up on. Some of the Swissy pairs, some of the exotic pairs, you guys are killing it. Lots of people on the USD Mexican peso trade and you're killing it. Hey, you're welcome. But remember, we set all of this up in mid to late August. And I tell people all the time, like when you get to this part of September and you're like, oh my God, all these other guys are just killing it. It looks easy. How'd they jump on this? Well, the thing is, we were ready 2 and 3 weeks early, expecting this to happen. And therefore, we were ready, willing, and able at the right time and at the right price, enter the trade. And even though maybe the last 20 trades didn't work because we were still stuck in summer doldrums, this one we based on things like seasonality, that the summer doldrums would be over, so the next move is a big move. And of course, we took the same trade you would have taken before, but with seasonality, this one just seemed to work out. And you're like, right? Look, that one worked. But the where you get paid, like the value, is that was our assumption based on our analysis, and we were ready, willing, able at the right time. We just made a better investment, right? So now if someone bought it up here, like let's say this Aussie yen, gee whiz, like that is so ridiculously overvalued. It doesn't mean it's going to come down, but I wouldn't buy it up there. But I might buy like this, for example. I might be interested in something like that. Yeah, my price might be $72.50. We're at $73.50. So an amateur might buy it here and make some money, and they got lucky pips. What they don't understand is doing something dumb like that on the long run will get yourself bankrupt. But it might go up. It just might go up. That's fine. But all that does now is set up a counter trend trade. And the counter trend trade destroys all those who are weak. Do you remember the greed and the sloth? What if it's you? Remember, we're after the greed and the sloth of hedge fund managers. But you know what? Tied up in there is the sick and the weak. So there's the greed and the sloth of the 800-pound gorillas. But what about the sick and the weak of the just like traders in the market with no plan, no idea what's going on, no idea of fundamentals. They're barely watching news releases or news flow. They have no sentiment at all for what's going on. But, you know, they learned the London breakout strategy and they're going to try that and see if they can make millions. And they just get slaughtered. But should I feel bad for them? No. No, not at all. So there's some of that there too, right? Like, don't we cull the herd? Isn't this what we do? We cull the herd. We take advantage of the sloth and the greed of hedge fund managers, and we prey on the sick and the weak of amateurs. But overall, the market becomes stronger. Cull the herd. But I'm sorry, but that's what we do. I don't think we live on banks trading because that's just business transactions. I don't think we live on central bank stuff because that's just monetary policy which impacts things. So it comes down to the fat and the lazy and the stupid and the weak. That's what we do, don't we? That's how we feed our children. Right? Why do you live in a good school district? Because you prey on those that fall to this, I don't know, the 7 deadly sins of Forex or something. Yeah. So that's how it goes. That's how we do it. Cool. Right on, Joel. It's some good analysis. All right. Do I want to do oil first? Let's do oil first. This is interesting, huh? You notice how we did this? I trapped it, remember? This is quite a while now. A couple weeks ago, we trapped it. Are you playing this as a breakout to the upside? I don't know if it's going to break out to the upside, but that's the decision you make. But was I saying I think this would break to the upside, or was I saying I think this will break to the downside? I mean, either you play this as a 618 or as a 50%. Either way, it's the same thing. So if you look at the 50%, I just picked the one in the middle, not the 121.4 or the 1618. So yeah, so it's like one of those things. Like if you were ready, willing, and able, this would be an attractive move to you, right? So Chuck says it's rangy, right? So that's what I mean. You either deem that a breakout or you don't. And I can see if you say that did not break out, I can totally see what you're saying. It's just opinion. And I'm not saying it did break out. I'm saying you could, if you did, have that plan and be ready. Okay? Which means you traded that on Friday. Yeah, a Friday front run. Okay? Now, Benjamin says you need to close above the last stop. I never said that, but yeah. I never said that. I've never said it has to close above there. I said you have to make a decision whether you think it's a breakout or not. Okay, so you just make your decision. But I've never said, like, there used to be nonsense like you have to have a 3 full candles close above that before, and then you buy it. And I'm like, dude, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? Benjamin said, yeah, I have that. Yeah. Okay. But if you're saying that, like, you are not calling that a breakout, that's cool. Then you were waiting for this to roll over and come back down. Now, what I would say is I'm more in tune to having a bullish breakout after this move more than this move. This move, I would say it's pretty early in the game. Okay, being the first week of September, yeah, I'd be on that. If I was a bull and I was planning on trading this up for the rest of the year, I would take this shot. And the fact it went a little higher than all the other ones, I'd say, yeah, well, that's what I thought. It's bullish. So how do I follow that up? I buy a higher low. Where's a higher low? And I just measure it out and I say, oh, yeah, I'm going to kick it off 55. Boom, gone. But you're right, we're already up, what was that, 55? We're at 57. Like, we're already up $2. Like, I'd be on my third glass of Kool-Aid by now. Do you understand? Benjamin says, how do you define a breakout? Yeah. Yeah, that's the question. So you answer it. So I'm answering it in this way. Based on seasonality and my fundamental bias of macroeconomics, I would be sitting here ready, willing, and able to buy this. Okay? And based on the move that it gave me, and it made a slightly higher high, I already have confirmation bias. I said here it's going to make a higher high. I said here, maybe, maybe not. A couple of weeks before, like, there's no way I'm buying this. It's way too early in the season. You have to think about this, right? It's too early in the season. Okay? And like, maybe I buy it, but it's still probably kind of early. Not everyone's in the game yet, but I'm in the game as far as doing my analysis. Here, I'm in the game. Why? Seasonality. And everybody knows that I'm only thinking up, not down. That's a bias. I ain't ignorant. Okay? But because of this being September, I'm fully on board, guys. And I told all of you guys, I guess it's been 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks. I guess 3 weeks, right? Remember, I think it was August 15th, I was buying trade. I was setting up trades. And I said, these trades are for the end of the year. And they're like, what? Like, these trades are based on September, but it's August 15th. And they're like, you crazy. I'm like, I know. And my trade plans for September, which were 3 weeks away, are based on the rest of the year. An example of that is this oil. Oil's been down. Yeah, I know. But it's going to go up. Do I know that for a fact? No, but that's my opinion. That's my bias. And when do I want to start buying? Yeah, right here. Like, here's when I come back to the market and I start analyzing, confirming my time. But I know I'm a bull. But like here, hey, man, summer's over. I need year-end bonuses, man, right? I want to get paid. Summer's over. The fun's gone. I'm back to work. I'm horribly, horribly, horribly ready to just destroy. But that's how you need to be. So I'm a bull hardcore, and I see this little blip at support. Because remember, this dropped for like a whole week, and I drew this for you guys. I said, there's the sellers, there's the buyers, that's where it's going to be, and it's either going to break out this way or it's going to break out that way, game on. And then I asked you, is this going to 40 or is this going to 60? And everybody said 60. Great. Now you're at support. Right? Like, you just told me you don't think it's going to go down. So then by definition, what did you tell me? Well, it's going to go up. Good. So did you buy it? And then here's the next thing. It made a slight higher high. Did it close above? Not on a 4-hour, but if I needed that, I could probably just drop into a 5-minute or a 15-minute and say, look, it closed above and whatever. But the thing is, I'm ready, willing, and able based on hardcore planning, seasonality, everything, where other people are just kind of walking in the market and they're like, oh, summer's over. What are we going to do today? And I'm already on my 5th cup of coffee and I'm crazy bullish. Cool. So now I get my higher highs. Oh, look, I'll buy a 50% retracement at $55 cycle level. At this point, it should be easy. If you're that hardcore and that ready, willing, and able, it's like taking candy from a child because the rest of the market's not quite ready. They just got back, man. They just got back like, oh, what's going on? Oh, I guess oil's moving, I guess. You're like, dude, you've been buying it since 53. Then you bought more at 55. We're at 57 and going to 60. Okay? You know what I mean? Taraxin. But I saw your one YouTube video about investing, so I know how to invest. Cool, Taraxin. Cool, right? Cool. So we still don't know if this is going up, but you should know what if you're taking this up. And really, these are things that you should be on. Okay? And the next thing is if it does go up, what are you going to do next? You're going to buy the next dip. You should already know all of this. Okay? So buying this is dangerous because now you're buying at resistance, which I've never recommended. Right? So you should be buying dips. And you'll say, well, this is in the middle of the range. Yeah, but you already planned this breaking up based on seasonality. You should already know. So like, was it an NFP where I was talking about this month's pivots were tight because last month in August there was no volume and volatility. So I believe we're going to go through these pivots and we're going to go to R3s and S3s, depending on the situation. Because this oops, that was supposed to be an R3. Because this month's are tight based on last month's lack of volatility. So I'm always thinking farther, right? That's where you need to be. You're not looking at now. Now is so yesterday. now is so last week. Our new mantra in swing trading is if you don't have it planned on Thursday, you're not going to trade it on Monday. You'll miss it. So we talk about things. Just imagine how different this is from where you started trading, where we plan things 3 or 4 days in advance, sometimes 3 or 4 weeks in advance. It's just not fair to those traders that just show up and wing it every day, right? The weak and the stupid. Destroy them. Give me those pips. Those are mine. All right. You guys remember the story about the 800-pound gorillas and we're just cheeky little monkeys? One of my other favorite stories using the monkey as an example was there was this YouTube video, this chubby little white kid. He's in some exotic country where they have monkeys, and he's sitting, he's got his ice cream, he's licking his ice cream, and he's all doughy and stuff. And all of a sudden, a monkey shows up, and you can only see like the big pulled up white socks going to the knees of some ginormous parent. And they're like, look at the monkey! There's a monkey. Look at the monkey, George. There's a monkey, right? And the monkey's like, ice cream. And the little kid's like, oh, the monkey. And the big dad's like, monkey. There's a monkey. And all of a sudden, the monkey comes up to the kid, makes a fist, and just cold cocks the kid in the face. Whack! And the kid drops his ice cream, and the monkey picks up the ice cream cone and poof, gone. And the kid's like, wah! Of course, I can't stop laughing. Yeah, the greed and the sloth, the weak and the stupid, we're cheeky little monkeys. So anyways, make sure you're not the kid, the sloth and the lazy and the stupid sitting there. You're going to get took. Cool. Max, we already did Euro Yen, bro. All right. Gold. Okay. Anti-dollar. So what's going on? Well, this is going to be an important one this week. Notice that we are in a consolidation, have been. So are you a bull or a bear? It's the only way you're going to be able to decide all of this. It's a very mediocre buy. It wasn't a very good sell. And it kind of looks like the market's not sure what the US dollar is going to do, aka what gold is going to do. That's all right, Maxie. Yeah, there you go, Chuck Duck. I suppose I'm supposed to feel bad for the child, but of course I don't. Oh, my poor baby! Remember the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Alistair Darling? Oh, Alistair Darling! Oh, darling! The monkey took your ice cream. Oh, my baby, Alistair Darling! So anyways, maybe that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you got here, right? But what a fantastic name for the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Alistair Darling. Just fantastic. He couldn't have a different job with a name like that. Cool. That's kind of the only thing going on. You could buy it here, and then that means dollar down, so you have to be a dollar bear as well as a dollar bull. It's like, yeah, it's on a weekly pivot, but it's not on a monthly pivot. And yeah, I guess you could. It seems very mediocre. It feels like if you're going to buy it, it really needs to come down a little more or a lot more. So I almost feel like if you're a bull, I think what you really want is this, but then that sets up another conundrum where it just becomes very bearish, unless the bears are really posers and they're not really there, and it heads back up. So this might be data news dependent and stuff, but it's a very iffy sell, but it's definitely there. Like, you could definitely do this. You could definitely say, this is how we see it, this is how I'll trade it. Okay? But notice that just sets up for next week a bullish move to the upside based on this kind of plan. Okay? So we might be caught between trade plans. The difference being the timing. Okay. You guys see that? There might be mass confusion on this one where some of the market's really eager to sell it because we got consolidation, breakout to the downside, and then you're going to want to sell the higher low, right? Meanwhile, there's a bigger move potentially, and the whole time they've wanted to buy it between 1500 and 1465. So someone might buy this at 1500 and drive it up, okay? And right now they're defending it. So, I really don't know. And I think that's what I said as soon as I opened this up. I'm like, kind of both, kind of neither. So I'd rather take something cleaner of a setup. But here's the thing, guys. Regardless of whether you're a bull or a bear, if you do this right, you'll have an opportunity to make money, and you probably won't lose money. That ain't